What if you take the hardest class to play and the rarest item class you can find in Diablo 2 Resurrected? Well, you will find out in this video. I decided to play Barbarian and only wear unique items for the whole run for me and my mercenary. The journey of the Unluckiest Barbarian begins. Let's start the grind. Rules. I'm only wearing unique items, same for my mercenary. I can use charms. I can socket runes and gems. Not using shirt stash. Player count will be sometimes manipulated to speed up the farming process. Run ends with defeating Bale on Hell difficulty. To set this clear, unique items are the ones that are written in gold text. These are also quest items that you can find like Malus or Mephisto's Soulstone. When dropped, you almost always know what item are you going to get, as in vast majority of cases there is only one unique item per item type. For example, unique field plate will always be Rock Fleece. There are only a couple of item types that have more than one variation. The most notable one is a unique Sacred Armor, which can be Templar Smite or Tyrael Smite. With that out of the way, let's start. Similar to my magic only run, first I have to get rid of my starting equipment and go farm some gold. My strategy would be to get some gold or possibly some unique item drops in the process and gamble items at Git's shop. I'm guessing the start will be pretty slow, but once I get some weapon, it should pick up the pace. Nevertheless, I anticipate some hard grinding sessions. Fortunately, my map spawned with a house just outside the camp that could contain several chests and super chests, thus giving me the access to farm gold pretty quickly. I did Den of Evil, which only took like 20 minutes, as I need to punch everything here to their death. Duel with Corpse Fire was like a boxing match, except he has elemental powers and I have healing potions and town portal scrolls. I decided to farm some gold with chests in the house I mentioned earlier, and try to get Gold Dagger. I did some research and apparently it's easiest to gamble for gold at level 11, but you can consistently farm it from super unique in a cave in Cold Plains. Since my damage is non-existent, I went to deal with Bloodraven to at least get mercenary for some additional help. I quickly slapped Bloodraven to her death and was rewarded with Aliza, fire arrow shooting rogue. Together we embarked on a quest for Cold Crow and farming gold in the caves of Cold Plains. I don't think I have ever been to this particular dungeon. Usually Cold Plains is just a crossroad between Burial Grounds and Stonyfield, but hard times calls for unusual solutions. After like 2 hours of farming cave and the house, I decided to free Kane, as I was spending more gold for scrolls that I was actually making from the loot. I gracefully yoinked the scroll and proceed with tactical retreat, as my fists were weaker than these yetis. Seeing as my punches are basically tickling Rakanishu, I decided to leave it to Aliza, while I was activating the portal to Tristram. I freed Kane and backed out of there. Couple hours into the challenge and I managed to hit level 12 without getting a single unique item, and even not going past Darkwood. With that I get access to Find Item, which should speed up the process. Now you are probably thinking, what was he thinking when he started that challenge? That is such a waste of time and tedious process. Well, you assume I was thinking, and that's where you're wrong. Somehow I found Arctic Fur set item before any unique. Aliza was level 12 now and she got access to Exploding Arrow, which at least allows her to do some AoE damage, and way more damage than me in general. Let's just skip the grind for now and push on to Countess. On level 3 I found Cold Enchanted Ghosts, but Aliza suddenly stepped in and just melted them. Again, my mercenary cleared the Countess minions and Countess herself, but still no uniques. Suddenly I remembered. Perfect plan hatched in my head. I need to get to monastery to retrieve the Malus, but not for Charcy, only for myself. Malus is actually a unique rarity weapon, and that will allow me to at least be useful. I quickly grab the hammer as Alisa threw herself in heroic sacrifice, and I run away. Round 2 Smith. The hammer is slow, but now I am not hitting like a wet noodle. I will not give it back until I got some better weapon, or any weapon for that matter. In jail, I run across a pack of champion Death Clan, and they are just wrecking me. Fortunately, nearby is the portal, so tactical retreat. I run through hall level 3 just to find the entrance to the inner cloister back near the beginning. Nice. Sadly, Bonash wasn't generous, so I ran down to the catacombs. I got the portal at level 2, and at this point I am thinking, if there is a more or less good route to Andariel, maybe I can kill her a couple of times to get some equipment. Route turned out to be decent, so now I need to know if I am even able to deal with Andariel. I cleared the area so we can have uninterrupted fair fight, 1-on-1, or rather 1 against 2, since Alisa is with me. So Andariel killed Alisa nearly instantly, but we are not giving up. Quick res, buying more antidotes and potions. And of course, she didn't drop a single unique.
My disappointment is immeasurable, and my day is ruined.
I went back to kill her again, and on first try I actually got my first unique, Longstaff Serpent Lord. It's probably the worst stuff in the game, but hey, it's something. At least now Charcy can have her Malus back. So damage isn't bad, it's really comparable to Malus, but this also has mana drain after each hit and bit of a poison damage. I killed Andariel a few times after that, but she didn't drop me anything else. So quick look at my current build and equipment, and yeah, this doesn't look great. So first things first, I decided to switch mercenaries and hired Jamali. He has a prayer aura which will be able to heal both of us. And together we ventured to the sewers to find and get rid of Radament. Once we found him, I beat him to submission with my serpent, Lord. Get the Book of Skill for additional skill point and Horadric Scroll for Cain. Now into Rocky Waste and quest for the Cube, Staff of Kings and Viper Amulet. We delved into the Hall of the Dead to get the Horadric Cube. While clearing the area, I actually saw that my mercenary was hitting harder than me, and yeah, he is lower level. Yet he has more damage than me, despite not having any equipment. That is depressing. I got the cube and went back to the surface. While going through far oases, I hit level 18, and with that I was able to get leap attack. This is an amazing skill. It allows me to jump and damage enemies on impact. It has great mobility and is a great offensive tool, and in Resurrected version it also has a small area damage. Found the entrance to the Maggot Lair and went inside immediately, and even here leap attack is able to squash the bugs. I finally don't feel completely useless standing next to Jamali and just being his sidekick. I got the Staff of Kings and killed the Cold Worm. Looking at the staff, I was actually thinking of using it, but since I already got the weapon that dropped fairly, I decided against it. So far into the challenge, Find Item skill didn't yield a single useful piece of gear, and I was really hoping it would help me in the early game immensely. I am yet to be proven wrong. Got to the Lost City and again, Black Hole Sun. Is it a bird? Is it a plane? No, it's a barbarian with a leap attack. Found the path to the Valley of the Serpents and entered the Claw Viper Temple. With the power of leap attack, I quickly found a way to level 2 and got the Viper Amulet, which I will gladly wear for some time. Run into the palace and its basement and find the portal to Arcane Sanctuary. We found the summoner and he didn't even have a chance to finish his laugh. Now I see a massive issue on the horizon. My damage isn't completely absent, but my defenses are, and problem is that fight with Duriel is approaching fast. I am not sure that in the current state I will be able to beat him. Even though I have a lot of health at this point, I have 0 defenses otherwise. Into Telrasha's tomb we go to find our nemesis. While going through it, I found a Ral rune, rather rare drop for Act 2 normal. I found the chamber and had to say goodbye to my amulet. I got some thawing potions for cold resist and on to Duriel we go. I have a bad feeling about this. Hey, it's actually not that bad. We are doing some decent damage and he is alternating his attacks between us, so we are able to heal. It took 2 trips to town to rest Jamali and restock on potions, and Duriel was down, and of course he didn't drop anything useful. Free Tyrael from his binds and sailed to Kurast. This must look really funny when they are greeting me and hoping that I will kill Mephisto and seeing me only wielding staff. As a barbarian. In my current state I wanted to get more items, so I went back to Andariel. And on the second try I got new belt. I could not believe it. Unique sash which is Lenimo. And it is ethereal. God damn it, why I can't have nice things. The lack of magic find is really getting to rear its ugly head. A couple of runs in and I have 0 luck with the drops. While on my way to Andariel, I opened a random chest and unique scimitar dropped. This is Blood Crescent. It has very nice offensive and defensive stats and I will keep it for now. And just like that, Lenimo broke on the Andariel fight. Thank you for your short-lived service. So Blood Crescent is better for normal attacks as it is faster, has Life Leech and Open Wounds proc. But Serpent Lord has actually more damage and it allows me to constantly use Leap attack due to 100% mana drain. About 10 runs in and based on my drops from Andariel herself, which consists of Ethereal Lenimo, I think I might just have negative luck. On run, I lost count which one. She dropped me another Blood Crescent, so now I have 2. And on the next run she actually dropped Unique Large Axe, which is Axe of Fekmar. Better damage than Serpent Lord, but no mana drain. Seriously, are there no other items than weapons in this game? What is happening to me? I actually cannot believe this game. 3rd Blood Crescent. At this point I ought to start throwing them. 2 runs later she dropped Unique Light Crossbow, which is Lead Crow. Can it at least give me a weapon I can give to my merc? I know that every unique drop at this stage should be exciting, but I think that the game took it personally and decided to actively mock me. Finally, got something different. Unique Boots Hotspur. First unique ring drop. Very poorly rolled Nagel ring. Only 50% magic find, but aside of it, it offers some attack rating and damage reduction. That was the last drop from that farming and I was starting Act 3 with the gear you see and level 23. With that I went to the jungle and I didn't have much issues dealing with the mobs here and leap attack would actually allow me to skip the tedious parts of the jungle. I got into Spider's cover, took the Kalim's eye from the chest, got with Sazark, and he also dropped Jade figurine. Nice. Turned the Jade figurine to Meshiv and then to Alcor for plus 20 maximum life. Next I found the alcove with the Kidbin and Flayer dungeon and got the dagger and went down. Inside I managed to hit level 24, and with that I got access to a couple of more important skills: improved speed passive and battle orders, which will be one of the most used defensive tools of this run. Stomp Witch Doctor and Dugu and grab Kalim's brain. Check the super chest near the bonfire in Lower Kurast. No lag this time. In Ruined Temple I grabbed Lamb Essence Tome and went straight to the sewers. I got very good layout from the start and just jumped repeatedly on Riftwing. Went to level 2 of the sewers and got Kalim's heart. God, I love Leap Attack. This is such an amazing skill. I don't need to look for a way to next area, I can just jump over the water and I'm there. Travincal. This was the main thing that I didn't want to start Act 3 prematurely, as I know that getting the flail in this state, even on normal, will not be easy. Fortunately it wasn't so bad. A trip or two to the town to revive Jamali, and flail was mine. Shatter the orb with Kalim's will, and into the Durance we go. Here I have one goal: get the portal so I can reliably farm Mephisto before going to Act 4. Found the portal and went to Mephisto himself, and he is not going down without the fight. But he is going against Jump King himself, so there is not a chance he will win this. 2 tactical retreats to town and Mephisto, as all Acts bosses did not drop a single useful item on first kill. Finally, on the 3rd try Mephisto dropped unique chainmail, which is of course sparking mail. Not the best drop, but at this point I am taking any free in the free slot. Another immensely useful drop came from run number 6. Poorly rolled chance guards with 27% magic find. Even though they are poorly rolled, this is still infinitely better than nothing, so no complaints here. I did a couple of runs after that, but no luck there. I might come back later as he will still be the best source of items. On to the outer steps then. Try not to die and rush through this act if possible. Fortunately, damage isn't in the hitting like a wet noodle levels, and I am not dying instantly, so this is not bad. I quickly found a way to Plains of Despair, so we can bully Isual into giving me those 2 skill points I desperately need. Isual found, but alongside him I got absolutely worst minion spawns: Pit Lords and Burning Souls. After 5 minutes of pole vaulting I was able to take him down, and just near him there was an entrance to the City of the Damned. Guess I am at least fortunate in spawn of the objectives. Go into River of Flame nearly instantly, and then Hellforge spawned just around the corner. Hephasto fell down under the might of pole vaulting to the face, and Hellforge gave me a fall rune. Say hi to Hadriel and go to Chaos Sanctuary. Now to break the seals and kill Diablo. As per usual, Grand Vizier of Chaos is first, then Lord the Seas, and last Infector of Souls. My main problem and annoyance is a lack of belt. I don't have much inventory space and cannot really hold more than 4 potions at a time. Break the last seal and it's Diablo time. Do a little jumping and try not to die to lightning breath. After a couple of minutes he was down, and yet again he did not drop a single unique item. I'm not gonna lie, that was a relief that I was able to beat Diablo with what I have, and with that I would be able to safely farm good areas in Act 5. They say white dudes cannot jump, yet I am dunking Shank like there is no tomorrow. I heard that Eldritch wanted to see my sick tricks, so I showed that to him. In most unbelievable stroke of luck, a gold chest spawned near Eldritch, so I am able to farm the Holy Trinity in this case repeatedly. With level 30 I first took Natural Resistance skill, which boosts all resistances with each level. No. No! 4th Blood Crescent.
No, God! No, God, please, no! No!
And hey, also Threads of Hathon, which at least has some faster run walk speed. I don't see any merit in my farming sessions so far. Current setup is bad, but I am able to push on, so I decided to stop farming and try to get access to terror zones in normal, something that you are normally rather not farm. In Frigid Highlands we have to free some barbarians that were enslaved, find 3 slave pens and break the gates so they can get out. Stomp the fresh socket out of existence and go into Crystalline Passage. Now into Frozen River to find and rescue Anya for some sweet all resistance boost. I did all that to warm Anya's heart, but it seems that she wasn't impressed and requires potion from Mala to melt her frozen legs. Quickly through the glacial trail and into the frozen tundra and get the portal. High five Anya and go into Nilatak's temple and high five Bindleskin in the face. Now to find the owner of this establishment and have some nice conversation with him. Initially I was very nice, but after a moment I realized that he will only listen to reason until I jump on his head several times. After that he stripped to his bones and crumbled. Weird guy. Now to Aria's summit and Ancients fight. First to fall was Madak, then Talik, and last was Korlik, which was held by Jamali through whole fight. In Worldstone Keep we just rushed to Bale to end his pitiful life on this difficulty as quickly as possible. Aside from Lister Wave, all others were pretty easy to deal with. Minions of Destructions were a bit tanky with my setup, so it took a bit of back and forth to deal with. Bale was just a time-consuming process. I think I would hurt him more if I was just throwing candy at him with enough speed, but eventually I was able to get him, and in return, as the only boss, he got me Twitch Throw, so now my merc can also have an armor. With that I finished normal and unlocked terror zones, so let's get down to farming. And this is my current equipment and build after Bale kill. And before going to Nightmare, first notable drop was just a Terrorized Andariel and it was a unique amulet, Nokozan Relic. Zarfen must be really jealous now. Lance of Yagai dropped from a 4th run. Better weapon than mine, but only one I have that I can give to my merc. Next was Hawkmail. It isn't a great armor, but it cannot be frozen, which is my only source of this attribute thus far. Final drop from Andariel was Bone Shield, Wall of the Isles. With level 38 I started Nightmare, as farming terror zones in normal is, a nightmare. Not enough champion packs and good drops, so I just started plowing through Nightmare to get something good. Fortunately Leap Attack is still carrying me hard, so Den of Evil seems to go like a breeze. While going through the Cold Plains I ran across the cave and reminded myself how Cold Crow wasn't that nice to me in normal. So I decided to say hi. With level 39 and Leap Attack maxed, I put some point into battle orders to increase my skill levels and natural resistance. This build is all over the place due to the lack of proper weapon. Kill Treefist in Darkwood and get the scroll. This time we will save Kane. Open the portal and free Kane from imprisonment. I was really hungry for some new drop, so decided to give a try to Bloodraven, but she wasn't generous. Countess and Bloodraven are two quests I normally not doing in Nightmare, but doing the quest for the first time always yields some increased chance for a better reward. So that better reward was in fact nothing, just Tears of Regret. In Catacombs level 2, find the portal so I can use it to farm Andariel later. Clear everything around the pool of blood and slowly make my way to the boss. Andariel drop unique ethereal pike, which is in this case good, as my mercenary will have a very powerful weapon, the Tanner Gore Rod, and ethereal equipment does not lose durability on mercenaries. With that out of the way, I was about to do another farming session, but before that, I need to switch mercenaries. Now, in Act 2 Nightmare, I am able to get Niraj, who has Might Aura, and with that we will be able to do so much more damage. And it turns out that he is doing way much more damage than me. On the way to Andariel, unique field plate drop, which is Rock Fleece, and on the same run, Andariel drop Maelstrom Wand and Green Avenger Guard, which I would love to use. Next run I got two drops, Storm-Eyed Scepter and Sure Shrill Frost Flanged Mace, and with that I changed my build to Frenzy. So now instead of hitting like a wet noodle, I am hitting like slightly undercooked noodle. With that change I was able to hit fast and hard, way better than jump attack, and build isn't even complete yet. Sometime later Andariel dropped another amulet, Mahim Oak's Curio, which I will gladly use. I found Soul Harvest Scythe along the way, and on the same run I found Spectral Shard, which might be useful later. With level 46 and a couple of upgrades, I went back to Act 2 to push on a bit more, and my first objective was again Radament in the sewers. So Sure Shrill Frost Mace is a double-edged sword, or rather mace, as it has freeze target, which for Barbarian is actually a downside, as it can shatter bodies and fight item cannot be used then. But in Radament's lair it is actually very useful, as he cannot resurrect his skeletons. Some angry flailing before his face and he is dead. Just outside of the city I immediately found a way into Dry Hills and proceeded to zoom around like a lightning McQueen. Zoom zoom! Maggot lair isn't really an issue, it's just tedious, as I can fight only one monster at a time and it just takes, well, some time. Kill the Burrower, get the stuff, and bolt out of there, in search of better life. While running through Lost City, I actually found a Lamb Rune. Fangskin didn't really have a chance against Angry Barbarian, so I got the amulet and created another staff. Deal with the Fire Eye and then go into the portal into Arcane Sanctuary. Somehow, I actually found the summoner on the first try. Now let's find the proper Telrasha's tomb and deal with Overgrown Bug. A way through a tomb was not easy. If Nirash is dead, I am losing half of my damage, and I am not doing enough on my own, so advancement was slow. It took me over 20 minutes to actually get to Duriel, and worst is yet to come. Excuse me, but how is he able to freeze me if I cannot be frozen? Am I a joke to you? This fight was grueling. I had it constantly warp back to town to get potions and revive Niraj. Once beaten, he dropped Ravenclaw Longbow. Not useful. Gear-wise, this is looking grim. I barely made it through Act 2, so let's see how far I can get without another farming session. Right out of the gate, I was able to get Jade Figurine. Give a cold shoulder to Cesark the Burning in the Spider's Cave and grab Kalim's Eye. Very nice. Just outside the cave I found a skip to Flayer's Jungle. Light the fire. A single Ratman spawned? get the Gitbin. Now into Flayer's dungeon to find Brain again. Finally, with that behind me, I was able to move on to Lower Kurast. Oh, I actually never seen that. The map spawned with 2 spots with bonfire, so much more chests to check. Battlemate Sarina was clearly stunned by my presence, as she stood in the door while getting clobbered to death. Quickly found a way to Sewers level 2, dispatched Riftwing and got the heart. Run as quickly as possible to Travincal and now the Council. Split them if possible and deal with them one by one. Got the flail and dungeon diving time. Every battle now is a struggle. Damage isn't that bad, but I have no recovery whatsoever. I don't have even a 1% of life drain and no belt for more potions, so visits to town are frequent. Of course, I went through more than half of level 2 until I found the portal. And I spent another 10 minutes to get to level 3. This map layout is just awful. Mephisto took like 15 minutes of back and forth. I cannot let my merc die, otherwise I am doing no damage. And because I have no potion slot, I had to use my cube as a makeshift belt. In a typical act boss fashion, Mephisto didn't drop a single useful thing, but I will be paying visit to him later, probably more than once. I farmed for a bit before this act, so I am afraid that I will be not able to complete it, but I have not found a single useful item. As a matter of fact, I found only 3 uniques. While making my way through outer steps, unique demon hide boots drop, which is Inferno Stride. First good upgrade in a long while. It allows me to do a bit more damage and give me additional bump to fire resistance. Unfortunately, even with this upgrade, my ass is getting severely kicked in Plains of Despair. And in hindsight, I should have probably opted for a different build with these items I got so far. Now I think of it, I don't have another option. Just switch to Warcry. I switched my gear a bit to have better, faster cast rate and more health. With that, I should reliably be able to deal with monsters at least. Because Warcry deals physical damage, I can keep Niraj, as he will vastly boost my damage output. So now a different issue. Mana. I have some regeneration from the shield, but it isn't great. I need to find some sort of boost if I will use this build. I am never in danger now, as monsters are dying or they are just stunned to oblivion, but I need mana to finish them off. Mana burn monsters are bane of my existence. I mean, not exactly, but once they burn my mana, I cannot do anything to them. And they also cannot really kill me, so we are just standing there in awkward silence. As per usual just took a long time to kill and didn't leave anything useful. Quickly found my way into the City of the Damned and River of Flame. This is much better. I am shouting my way through the River of Flame and only stopping when I need mana. I really wonder how well this will deal with act bosses. Shouted out to Hephasto how much you hate him.
Bloody, you bloody bastard bitch! You fuck you! Bloody fuck you, bloody!
And Hellforge gave me a Lam rune. Used discount teleport and just like that I am in Chaos Sanctuary. Shout at everyone and kill them with pure hatred. Mow down everything that stands in the way. Grand Vizier of Chaos, Lord the Seas, and Infector of Souls. Diablo fight took like 20 minutes, because of mana, damage, and lack of money. I had to scour the Chaos Sanctuary for items to sell mid-fight, but finally he was down. Show everybody who's the boss or just jump through the area. Kill Shank and Eldritch several times. Skip the quest in Frigid Highlands and just straight for Ariad's Plateau. Rush straight for Frozen River to rescue Anya, but of course I had to get through the whole Crystalline Passage map to find the entrance. deal with a welcoming committee, and unfreeze Anya. I'm not going to bother to get Nil attack in Nightmare, just go for Bale quickly and farm terror zones if I am able to. Eventually I found my way into Ariad's Summit, and now the Ancients fight. In first try I ran out of potions, so another go. On another try they instantly spawned with manageable modifiers, and first one to fall was Madak, then Korlik, and last one was Talik. In Worldstone Keep level 2, of course I got souls, but seems they don't have any liking for the tone of my voice. To the throne of destruction and destruction of Bale Waves. This playstyle really reminds me of something. Wasn't there a game where there was an angry guy shouting at dragons or something? Nah, it's probably my imagination. Back to Bale Waves. Well, they all just basically standing there, stunned by my amazing voice, so there is no threat really. Bale, similarly to Diablo, just took a long time. Worst thing here is that he has a mana burn, and with my crippling addiction to mana potions, this is just much worse. Again, it took like 15 minutes of shouting to bring Bale down. I knew this build is not a boss killer, so it's okay. So now, I have no chance in hell. As this is my current setup, damage is not that bad, but there is no sustainability. I have to farm. So I got 3 levels of experience and haven't got a single unique drop. How can one character be this unlucky? I have some magic find and I have find item skill. And this skill, this god excuse or promise of a better life skill, did not provide me a single unique item through this whole run. I might be losing my mind at this point. Or I am cursed. Man, I am doing something easier next. Finally, first drop was a Battle Hammer, Earthshaker. Not a great drop for current build. Next, Rune Scepter, Zakarum's Hand. I leveled to 71 during the farming session and didn't have much for show in terms of items, so decided to give it another go into hell. Corpse Fire and Den of Evil cleared with persistent Fus Roda. What the actual I mean heck, 3rd champion pack in Cold Plains with Mana Burn. It's like they know this is a bane of my existence. My god, archers with Mana Burn? I think this game starts to hate me. Yep, no doubt about this, game hates me and wants me to fail. Almost every elite pack has Mana Burn. So far I got into Darkwood and was looking for Tree Feast. Got the scroll and just straight ran for Monastery. I really would like to see if I can manage to farm the pit. Quick backtrack to Tristram and freed Cain. Akara gave me a really nice rare ring that I would love to use, as it is better than most of my current stuff. I tried doing a pit for some time, but no chance to do it consistently. There is no easy way around this, but I need items and I need them bad. I have one last respec, so I have to keep it for a moment when I have something decent in my hands to switch to. So now I had to farm again. After about an hour I was able to drop my first unique helm, Dusk Deep. I farmed literally everything that came into my mind. Terror zones, normal zones, nightmare zones, just to get even the normal level items in the open slots. I got 2 good drops from Andariel. Gauntlets, Frostburn, and Boots, Waterwalk. And actually something good drop in one run. Cleaver, which is Butcher's Pupil, and Greaves, Terhaunch. Oh my god, this is insane. I actually cannot believe this. I've got a ring drop and it turns out to be Stone of Jordan. Got another Dusk Deep. And somehow I am still missing the belt. And I got so far without it. I would love gold wrap. Or anything. I can do with any belt. Just give me something. Another very good drop in Terror Zone Pit. Goblin Toe Boots. Thanks to Crushing Blow, this will help immensely against bosses later. Finally, I found Snake Court Light Belt. I can upgrade it, and even though it is pretty bad belt, at least I will have something to hold my potions in. So to upgrade a piece of armor from normal to exceptional, you need to use this recipe. Tal Rune, Shale Rune, Perfect Diamond. And just like that, for the first time, me and my mercenary have no open slots for any equipment. Only took like 40 hours into the challenge. Here is another set of good drops. So I got few good items, and I was actually thinking of going back to Frenzy build. Only problem was I still didn't have anything that could leech life or mana. But I had an idea. With the current build, my main issue are the bosses. I am just not killing them efficiently, but I have Goblin Toe and the Gnasher. Both items have Crushing Blow, which allows to deal damage equal to a percentage of enemy's life. It is great boss killer. I set out to test this, since with both items I have 45% of it. So with my current build will still be Warcry, but for bosses I will switch some gear just to utilize Crushing Blow. I run through jail into the inner cloister as fast as possible. Sorry Bone Ash, I don't have time for you. Grab the portal for later, and now under yell. And yeah. My plan had one major flaw that I forgot about. Attack rating. So what if I have Crushing Blow for days, if I cannot hit anything? I managed to wear her down with Warcry, but it took a couple of minutes. At least I am able to progress for now, and farming paid off. I would really like to complete this challenge at this point, as this might be the unluckiest barbarian ever. Rush straight to the sewers and deal with Radament on level 3. Again, right out of the gate I found the path to Dry Hills and proceeded looking for Far Oasis. There are physical immune monsters here which are my only problem, but fortunately I am just able to avoid them. Into the Maggot Lair to get the Staff of Kings. Thanks to the power of Leap Attack and Leap, I am able to skip most of the stuff here. But even with that, it is not easy if I encounter some elite pack. I jumped through the lair and just grabbed the staff and bolted from there. Now quickly into Claw Viper Temple and yoink! Same thing in Arcane Sanctuary. Channel my inner Jump King. I do not abide by the rules of this place anymore. Of course, game hates me. So I found Summoner in the last path. Just before Duriel, I ran out of gold, and without gold, there is no mercenary. And without mercenary, there is no damage. And without damage, there is no damage. Wait, no. Anyway, back to farming. I would really love to get a couple of items to make a switch back to Frenzy. And based on my drops, I am able to show you I think it just might be possible. The Storm Shield drop is actually the most important one of this run, and actually the first one that I got. So now I was thinking, do I need the switch to Frenzy or maybe something else? Realistically, I only need to kill Duriel, Council, Mephisto, Chaos Sanctuary Waves, Diablo, Bell Waves, and Bale himself. I did my switch to most unpredictable path. Concentrate. This skill allows me to have a lot of single target damage, and have an uninterruptible attack. With Storm Shield and both axes, the Gnasher and Butcher's Pupil, I think I will be able to just skip most of the stuff and only kill the required monsters. So I jumped through Talrasha's tomb and got to Duriel. Thanks to damage reduction from Storm Shield and String of Ears, he wasn't really able to hit me very hard, and Concentrate increased my defense, so half of the time he wasn't really able to hit me. Crushing Blow from Goblin Toes and the Gnasher made beautiful tartar out of the bug. Finally, I think I might be able to complete this challenge. Act 3, just do the objectives. First was Jade Figurine for additional life. I'm Batman. I'm jumping into the fray, get the eye and bolt the hell out of danger. I'm not even doing Gitbin at this point. I need to end this. This maze cannot contain me. Grabbing the brain and just portal to town. I'm so angry at this point. This game mocked me for a week, but I will beat it. I will conquer this challenge. Now that I got all the pieces, I just need the flail. And let's see if I can deal with the council. Divide and conquer. Draw them out one by one and kill them. Give me the flail, vile hand. Give me the flail! Niraj took one for the team, but that is a sacrifice I am willing to make.
Some of you may die, but it's a sacrifice I am willing to make.
I feel your fear, game. I know your dread, but I cannot be stopped now. I am too stubborn and too tanky to feel pain. Finally, I have found an entrance to level 3 of Durance of Hate. And now another test. Mephisto. Yeah, this whole fight was just angry noises and standing in place, waiting for me to land a couple of hits. I was never really in any danger, and Mephisto was down 30 minutes after I started this act. Now, in Diablo's domain it will be a bit trickier, as main goal is well to kill him of course, but for that I need to kill Grand Vizier of Chaos, Lord Disease, and Infector of Souls in Chaos Sanctuary. I am basically speedrunning now. I spent over a week on this challenge, way longer than I anticipated, and for the most part it was a grind fest. I wanted to kill Isual for additional skill points, but no, I cannot have something nice. Game had to spawn Burning Souls. I will come back later. Or so I thought. I actually found him on the edge of the map with mostly no monsters. Quickly after that I found myself in the River of Flame and Chaos Sanctuary. This is a true test. I cannot run through it. I need to clear it piece by piece until I get to the seals. What a godsend. Combat Shrine just in the beginning. I will be able to reliably hit everything. Until I get cursed. I need to keep my Merc alive, as I don't have much money for revives, and without him I am doing way less damage. Oh, great! Fanaticism, Cursed and Cold Enchanted Pit Lord. My dream. Unfortunately, to my dismay, Niraj was just not tanky enough, so I had to continue alone for the most part. After what felt like forever, I chopped my way into the middle. So now onto the seals. I kept pushing, pulling couple of mobs behind some wall and killing them until I have everything cleared for Diablo's elite entourage. First was Lord Disease. They cornered me, but I was still able to lure some of them and kill, and just chop down Deceased last. Next I summoned Vizier and just rushed him down to the ground. Last is Infector of Souls, and he is the worst one. I broke all the seals and run. Because all of the seals are broken, I only need to kill Infector himself and the whole sanctuary will crumble. I picked a couple of Pit Lords one by one, but then they just rushed at me. Again I focused on the elite one and couple of hits later it was over. And now, after an hour of being here, it was time for Diablo. Problem was that I wasn't really able to hit him, and then I remembered there is a combat shrine in the beginning. Now, equipped with that, it is time to put an end to the reign of terror. I was relieved at this point, as I knew he would be the easiest part of this whole area. Just standing in place and hacking away, and he was done after a couple of minutes. One last act. I was finally feeling good about this. I may have a decent chance to complete this and put it behind me. In this act there are 3 things that I need to kill. Ancients, Bale waves, although some of them can be skipped, and Bale. Let's see what I can do and if I can do it. I'm not even breaking the siege. Jump on through 2 minutes and I'm in Ariad's plateau. I'm basically playing Mario 64 right now, but not stomping anyone unless I absolutely need to. Not even 5 minutes into the act and I was already at the summit, looking at the ancients. I prepared some potions, even revived Niraj for this, and let's get some good modifiers. Couple of resets and I got some manageable modifiers. Also, I was able to split them up and dealt with Tarlik first. I couldn't really split Madoc and Korlik, but I exploited Madoc's crippling weakness to walls. Korlik was next to fall, and Madoc was dead soon after that. Final area of the game. I'm not gonna lie, I was excited at this point, that I will be able to finally finish this. Angry at fanaticism axe cows, yeah, that's what I need. Eventually I found myself into the throne of destruction. Pit Lords, Hell Witches and Doom Knights. This is manageable. Clearing a path to the throne room was a time-consuming process. Goddamn Oblivion Knights just running away and casting Decrepify. This is a thorn in my side. Killed one last of these bitch knights and waves began. First 2 waves took me like 10 minutes to clear. Really game, you are just prolonging your inevitable demise. Third wave was just annoying. They could not decide if they'd want to fight or chase their own tail. Ventar and his Venom Lords were really nothing special. Final wave, the worst one. Carefully lead them to the entrance and leave them there wondering what happened. Bale now. He knew he is dead at the moment I stepped through the portal. He was teleporting around so frantically that I wasn't even able to catch him. But this was just a matter of time. And at this point I was calm. I knew what was coming and he was too. His death was a bit anticlimactic since he shattered due to cold damage from the Frostburn gauntlets. And finally, over a week of this challenge, it took me over 40 hours to complete it. But I can rest now. Here is my final equipment and build. This was a grueling challenge. It was grindy, frustrating, and at times impossible. In process of recording, I had moments when I didn't know if I can complete it, or really how to do it. I even started different things just to keep my mind clear. Really, I had to give it to the notion and what game gave me in the last final farming session. I can honestly say this was the hardest thing I did, but I am glad it's over. By the time the plan worked, I was overjoyed and saw the light at the end of that tunnel. Thank you very much for watching. I see that more and more people are enjoying the content. I am very glad for it. Stay tuned for more challenges and runs. Challenger departs.